Evening all. Right, it's RESPEC day, thank God. So here we have, we got 10.7 million skill points ready to shower liberally on something awesome. And obviously got some refunded ISK as well, which is nice, so almost 600 million ISK as well. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to do this kind of in chronological order. So this is literally just, you know, and I've edited out the boring bits where I sit there and think, should I do that? I've literally just edited it so that it's concise. And as you can see, basically the first thing I wanted to do was to get my Mimitar scout suit. Now, the thing is, I feel that I wasted millions of skill points in getting the Mimitar scout drop suit. Firstly, I don't use Nova Knives. Secondly, I don't give a shit about the scan bonus because effectively no one sees you anyway. So I was really kind of soul searching whether or not to go with the scout suit at all and stick with the basic frame. We'll come back to that. Drop suit upgrades is just pretty much a no-brainer. I had to go biotic level 5 and I had to do kinetic catalyzation level 5 as well, because my most standard module I run is complex kinetic catalyzers. So I need 5 and 5 pretty much across the board. So you can see there's a huge kind of skill point investment just getting that one module costs, you know what, 5 and 5 is a huge amount. So that was a big hit. But again, at the end of the day, this is the choice I've made. So then I go into my core bits. And again, all I'm looking to do here is get the drop suit electronics and drop suit engineering up as well. Because again, I feel these are two skills I neglected massively in the first respec. And I'm not going to leave them at 2. I'm going to come back to them, but I'm not going to massively splurge until I've really considered. I probably took about an hour and a half doing this respec, and I would thoroughly advise you all to do the same. Do not rush this, okay? You know, don't feel you have to spend every point in this in the one go as well. It did take me a few kind of coming and going to really figure it out. So I'm a shield character, so naturally I want to have shields. So this is the first, again, logical decision for me. Is I'm going to skill up shields as much as I can. Now again, I haven't gone crazy. I've got level 1, and then I'll go into the module screen and look at actually what the skill requirements are. Certain modules, if you've got enough Aurum, may be fine at level 3 and just use the Aurum variants. Now that's your call. I don't like doing that myself, but it's worth looking at. So in terms of weaponry, shotgun, naturally. Come on, why wouldn't I have shotgun? Even though they suck, I do still like shotgunning. And what's the point of having a fast scout suit if I don't shotgun? So, but again, I haven't gone crazy with it. I'm just starting to spend the points carefully, you know, checking every time on the market, seeing what makes sense, looking at maybe what the art of the possible is. Now, in terms of the drop suit engineering and electronics, I was tempted to go level 5 on all of them, but I didn't, and I maybe will regret that. Only because to get level 5 would have meant 1.5 million skill points just to get level 5, which is only 10 or 5% more on each, and that maybe isn't quite right. It's a gamble, and I thought, well, I might as well take it because there's quite a few other things that I want to get. My last issue with my previous suit was I only had Mimitar Scout, and then I was working steadily towards logistics, and it felt a waste. It really did. So this is why I'm quite kind of chuffed that I'm actually, you know, I'm taking this a bit more steady as they go. Prime example, so I want to use complex shield extenders. Everything I use will have a lot of these. I could use the Aurum variant, but it would cost a huge amount of ISK. And as you just saw, I've just gone, you know, all chips in on the Mimitar Light basic frame drop suit. Now, again, the only difference is obviously 20k more, it's about 13k more per suit. But again, in terms of its basic functionality, it is the same as the Scout suit without certain benefits. Now, we've spoken about them. Nova Knives and Scan Resolution, don't give a shit. So the way I see it is I shotgun, I run around, that's my style of play, so therefore I want maximum shield. So again, this is a very bold decision. I want maximum shield in everything I do, and therefore I'm able to then use the right modules as well. Certain certain skill points will unlock a benefit to ISK. So you can see complex shield mods are quite cheap, and that's really why, you know, it's better to use them than Aurum in my mind, because I lose a lot of these things. And there we go, that's my basic frame. So 434 shield runs at the same speed as it always did, and I can confirm it's kicking ass. It really did. We played 2 matches after this and we just absolutely stomped people, so it was good. So now what I'm doing is kind of investing further. So I want to use the shotguns. I quite like shotguns. I'm not giving up on them totally. So, you know, but I'm not going to proficiency level 4 like I did previously and wasting a million skill points. I'm just going to sit with maybe level 1. Now, also this starts to open up, again, a further discussion. What more weapons do I use? Well, I use sniper rifles, so naturally, let's just get a level 3 sniper rifle. I'm happy with that. That does me proud. And then further discussion is, well, what other guns am I likely to use? Well, if you watch my videos for a while, you'll know that I lament the loss of my forge gun. I was particularly good with the forge gun. In fact, there was probably no tank that I haven't killed yet because I was a good forge gunner. So I had a long, hard think, and I thought, well, I've got 3.2 million left. Can I get a forge gun, and is it worth it? And I think, I asked some of the guys. I kind of said, look, what's your thoughts? What's your, what are you scaling up into? And I think I just decided to go for it because, again, certain guns I think have a major tactical advantage, and I think I've always suffered from the fact that I can't kill tanks easily, whereas with the forge gun I used to love hunting tanks. There was jihad on tank month, I love that. So there we go, I went straight up to level 5 on the forge gun. Massive investment, but again, I know it's something I'm going to use and get real fun from. And then I'll do proficiency level 1 for the Ishikoni assault forge gun, and then just a little bit of skill there as well, and that worked really nicely. So again, 2.2 million skill points left. Now again, just remembering my previous respec, I've unlocked and I've done so much more already, and I've still got 2.2 million skill points left, so I was particularly chuffed at that. So I decided to go for an Amar heavy, not just use a militia piece of shit, but actually maybe try and get a relatively okay suit. Now I could have gone prototype, but I decided not to because, again, I'm not generally going to use the Amar suit for anything other than forge gun, so it would be a suit that I swap into. So I thought level 3 is just fine, and again, I cut out all the bit where I did a little bit of research, a little bit of looking around, and I decided that level 3 was fine. The final few points now, so we're starting to get our upgrades going. So gone for level 3. Again, I could use Aurum damage mods, but again, I don't want to, so I circle back and buy that. Here we go, there we go, buying my favourite gun, the Ishikoni assault forge gun, and I'm proud to say it's actually reduced in price a little bit, so only 47k, so I'm pleased with that. But there we go, I think this is the beginnings of a very nice kind of spread of suits now, spread of fits, and this is what I was missing before really badly. I think really just the 1.7 million left, this was really just a toss-up to say, well, what do I maybe want to use now? And again, I'm kind of thinking, well, had lasers been any good, I probably would have looked to get into a laser, but I'm not going to bother. So I was thinking of heavy machine gun, but then I realized I'm never going to use them. So decided to get level 5 in the upgrades, which again makes sense. And as you can see on the market, we then had obviously, well, we don't cut to that, but as you can see on the market, it's better maybe sometimes to go with non-Aurum modules if you can use a lot of them. So then finally my last few points were really just around the scan. So this is something I completely neglected before, but now I don't have the scout suit, I need to kind of focus on this. So therefore I've got just a few points invested in the precisions of scans and the range of scans and the dampening of your own signature profile. So to me that made a lot of sense to do that, so I was quite happy with that. Level 1 nano circuitry, just so I can use the not so terrible nano hives. Level 1 scanner as well, because I do quite like scanners, but I need to work it into the fit. I'm not going to bother with drop pads. And then I think my last million skill points, this is really then the final decision to say, well, where's it worth putting this? Well, I put 170k into the core upgrades, just gives me a little bit more CPU and power grid to play with. And then finally I thought, well, I have to go with the fit of the month because it's just the law. So I went with level 5 assault rifle, and I obviously then sprinkled the remainder around the proficiencies. Now that's quite a strain. I mean, that's 1 million skill points. Well, it's about 800k skill points into the assault rifle, but again, by design it's probably a good thing to do just because I'm quite good with them. To me, they are the new laser of the modern game, and I think everybody's using them pretty much fit of the month at the moment. So there we go, just a liberal sprinkling of points. There we go. So let's just end with some lovely footage of me back in the saddle with my lovely forge gun, and I'm killing some dude who brings his Madruga way too close to me. There we go, and then one more AV grenade. Good night. Love it. I think that's this and final one here. This is just an epic one. Again, I always used to love shooting down dropships with my forge gun, and it takes 3 tries, but here we go, boom, and watch that mother drop, boom. Love it. There we go. That was my full respec. Hope you enjoyed that. I think if you're going to respec your characters, take some time. Really just sit down and look at the market and consider what you want to get. It's nothing wrong with even getting a pen and paper and writing down some notes, okay? And I think because otherwise your gaming experience is going to be depleted because you're not taking it as carefully as you could. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.